It's finally time to talk about the vendors who make true transitions. One very important thing to note about all true transitions is that if it's a subscription and you stop paying, all your transitions will get watermarks on them, even the ones in old projects. So make sure you keep the renders of all your old videos, which you should be doing anyway. And if you ever need to re-render an old video, you'll have to remove or pay for those transitions again. Also, if you're sharing a project and one of you doesn't have a subscription for the transitions in that project, then that person won't be able to render the video without watermarks all over all the transitions. So when I edited videos for Tom Scott, who preferred to render them on his computer, I would deliberately not use my Film Impact transitions because he did not have a subscription for them. Maxon Universe. These used to be called Red Giant Universe transitions before they merged with Maxon. 8 years ago, when I was first looking for transitions to buy, I tried them out, and I remember not being impressed, but I gave them another go for the sake of this tutorial. The first and honestly most annoying thing about Maxon transitions is that after the 14-day trial, all your transitions are replaced with this solid graphic. Every other true transitions vendor allows you to preview their transitions with a watermark on top. And I don't care how annoying that watermark is, so long as I can see what the transition is doing underneath it, and play around with the parameters. This is good for the company and its potential customers, since it allows people to try the transitions before buying them. It's the perfect demo, so it's bizarre to me that Maxon has decided to use this solid graphic instead. But they did get an extra $50 out of me so I could make this tutorial, so there's that. Maxon Universe transitions are very solidly middle of the road. They're not good and they're not bad. Well, some of them are bad. A lot of their wipes currently have this really annoying bug where the transparent parts of a layer are shown before they're supposed to be, and also, I found bugs with the Cube and Rubik's Cube transitions, which I reported, which was actually a pretty annoying and involved process where they almost tricked me with this dark pattern into not submitting my bug reports. To their credit, I got a response on the very next business day, stating that they had reproduced my issues and were working on a fix. However, they had no time frame estimate for when it would be fixed, and as of 9 weeks later, these bugs still persist. There are actually a lot of dark patterns in the way that you sign up for these transitions, which I really don't appreciate, so be careful and read the fine print. As for the transitions themselves, there are 34 of them. Of those, I think 10 are good and useful, 12 are bad, and the rest are medium. Most shocking to me is the lack of a dedicated dissolve transition. Seriously? The dissolve is the most common transition, and Premiere's sucks. So this is a major oversight. You can make it yourself using a transition like the bokeh and turning the blur all the way down to 0, but that won't work if it's your default transition, which means you'd have to customize them every single time. So you'll probably just keep using Premiere's crappy stock cross dissolve. Also, while technically they do have a directional blur, called channel blur, you have to control red, green, and blue blur amounts separately, which is annoying if you just want a basic directional blur. And you'll want to turn off the dolly as usual. I was initially excited about the warp transition, but the more I use it, the worse it gets. It's best to look at the presets to see everything it can do. You can zoom in or out, push left, right, up, or down, rotate, use different kinds of blur, and customize the dissolve, but you have no options for turning off the edge mirroring, so it's not useful for objects smaller than the frame, and the mirroring is really weird, totally ruining this otherwise beautiful zoom by unnecessarily mirroring the land from clip A. It's better than nothing, but Film Impact's motion camera is superior in every way. I want to like the uni.film transition, but I find it almost insulting just how enormous these JPEG macro blocks are on this frame. Seriously? Take some pride in your work, Maxon. Do you have any idea how hard I work to get rid of JPEG compression? I made a huge tutorial about it that you can watch. Some Maxon Universe transitions have presets, which is always appreciated, and you can add your own. But I still prefer to save presets through the Effect Controls hamburger, because then I can apply them with my secondary keyboard. I don't like how the easing works on all their transitions. It's a drop-down menu, but animation is a visual medium, so I want this to be visual. I'm still confused as to exactly how a lot of these work. Like, why do I have to choose ease out quad for upwards movement, but ease in quad for downwards movement? That doesn't make any sense. Here's what happens if you use the same animation on both. Is this somehow my fault? Is it a bug? What's going on? But this is still better than nothing. At least we have easing options, sometimes. The linear wipe does not have easing, which is incredibly stupid. Again, I've heard it said many times that the only reason anyone still uses Maxon is for their excellent VHS effect. And it is good. Maxon Universe costs 32 American bucks a month, or $17.83 per month if you sign up for a year. Again, these transitions are fairly middle of the road. Not great, not terrible. So I'm giving them a very solid C on the tier list. In the next video, I'll review Nublu. They're pretty bad.